Today's modular synth exploration is sponsored by DistroKid. So if you actually make some music and want to upload it, you should use DistroKid. I've been using it for many years. It costs less than $20 a year and you can upload unlimited amounts of music to Spotify and iTunes and other stores. Hello there and welcome to another Bobeats synthesizer video. Today you're gonna watch me build my big, crazy overkill, just slightly overkill Eurorack modular synthesizer. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have some sexy time lapses. I'm gonna unbox some modules that I bought and some that were sent to me. So we're gonna really geek out on modular today. And I'm also gonna try and play you some kind of musical demo with it. Don't judge. It's just kind of first tests. You're also gonna get to see what happens when you drop a tiny screw inside of a giant modular and have to spend 40 minutes fixing it. Yeah, that was fun. So hopefully all of this Eurorack nerdiness sounds like fun. Let's do it. So far it's going really well. I'm constantly referencing my modular grid layout here that I planned ahead of time. Without it, it would have been, it would have been a really big headache. There's been a few things which confused me. For example, the Buffaco mixers are really big. In order to fit them, I really had to work with angling this rail here. And I also had to really force it in there because it's the thickness that does it. If you can see here, they're very thick, they're very close to the rail. I also tried and power up the case, just did a little test. That worked really well. Yeah, thankfully nothing has blown up so far. You know how I said that it was going really smooth? Well, that's before I decided to drop a Norley down here somewhere. And it did take a little bit of investigation, and it's actually down here between the bottom and the back. So it's kind of latched in between there. So thankfully not touching anything electric or anything like that. So hopefully I won't blow up the case when I turn it on. Alright, so now here is the moment of truth. How many modules will I blow up when I turn it on? So we have the power connectors here on the back. So far so good. Second one. I think we actually managed. Yeah, I don't smell any smoke. Seems to be working fine, and yeah. That's a relief. So here we have a first little patch on the Eurorack, and it is the two dot sequencers here. They are controlling the Black Noir and the Queen of Pentacles, the drum machines. And over here on the mixer, we have a couple of things hooked up to the aux. So we have the two Black Hole DSPs hooked up here. And we also have one return coming in here from this little one here, the Guillotine from Ritual Electronics. So it's a 1U module, saturating, distorting sound. You have different settings for color. It actually sounds really good. And this little beauty here is actually saturating the drums. So I'm sending the drums. I'm just going mono out from the modules. You could do individual channels out as well. And then we have the Herbs and Stone liquid foam module here, doing a little bass line. Next up in the video, I'm gonna unbox some Eurorack modules, some that I bought and some that were sent to me, and we're just gonna geek out. So grab that cup of coffee right now and just sit down, relax. Let's unbox. But first, a quick word from today's sponsor. Here's 5 reasons to try out DistroKid. Firstly, you sign up for about $20 a year and you can upload unlimited amounts of music. Secondly, it's really quick and easy to upload. Basically, anyone can do it without any prior knowledge. 3, there are different tiers of subscriptions. So if you want to release your music under, say, different artist names, or if you're starting a label, DistroKid has an option for you. 4, DistroKid lets you upload to relevant stores and streaming services such as Spotify and iTunes, and it doesn't take long for the music to be available in the stores. 5, there's also the hyperfollow feature, which automatically creates a custom page where people can find out where to buy or listen to your music, and I personally really like this feature. So go and check out DistroKid using my link in the description. You get a little discount and you support the channel. Let me start with a module that I think is actually really cool, and it's made by a Swedish company called Noiselab. I bought it myself from a Swedish store. I was actually browsing all of their modules and I was like, I didn't find anything that I was particularly interested in. And then I just saw this one and it kind of spoke to me because it's doing something which I think is super interesting. So this here is the Forecaster, and basically it has 4 channels that you can scan between and one output over here. So you can insert, say you insert 4 different oscillators all playing the same thing, different waveforms or something like that, or 4 different modulations, so it could be 4 different LFOs or something. So basically it's like crossfading between these different channels. I'm not entirely sure if that's the best technical way to describe it, but just imagine crossfading between the different input channels here, and what comes out of the output is something more complex. And the reason why this module caught my eye is because you don't really see this kind of functionality on many hardware synthesizer. It's something kind of unique to Eurorack. Noiselab, Swedish company, kind of cool. Now, if you watch a lot of Eurorack videos, I think you'll be seeing a lot of like the sexy, cool modules being featured, because it's quite hard to make a video about like an envelope generator. Which brings me to utility. So I actually went ahead and picked up this one from Doppler. So this is just your standard ADSR. So it's a quad ADSR, so you get 4 of them. It's actually a little bit cheaper, I think, buying this quad one instead of buying the separate ones. So this here is just your typical boring utility purchase, really, because you need envelope generators. So it's a good thing to have, yeah, can't really have enough envelopes. Over here we have something that was sent to me. This is kind of neat. This is actually a really sweet little filter module. So its brand is called 3 Tom Modular.
try saying that quickly, three times, like it doesn't roll off my tongue as a Swede. It's called Steve's MS22 filter, and it's just a very nice little filter here. Now, something that I'm really excited about with the new Eurorack case is that I can now use 1U modules. And I bought a few, and Ritual Electronics also sent over 3 of their modules. Show them to you here. So basically 1U is just these very small Eurorack modules. And I think that the 2 main selling points is that you get a lot of utility for a very small space, and that they're a bit cheaper to make as well. So here we have point use, and here we have guillotine, and this knob here is very nice. And flexibility, which I'm pretty sure it's not how it's pronounced. So this one is quite interesting. This one is actually a pedal input. So you can input a pedal here and then output it to CV. So you can use an expression pedal. I actually have one, so I'm gonna test this out later with the Eurorack, and you can insert it here and use it to control modules on your Eurorack. So that's pretty nice. Now, something that I saw my friend Jeremy from Red Means Recording talk about is submixes. So I actually picked up a little Doppler mixer. So it's just a very simple mini stereo mixer. You could, of course, do it mono as well, but you have inputs here, 4 inputs, and then you have panning for them as well, and left and right outputs. So it's just a very, very simple mixer that I'll probably use as a submixer. Now, talking about different audio signals, I asked Befaco if they could send over this module here, which I think will be super useful in my case. So this one here is their instrument interface, and it's actually very useful. You can phantom power a microphone with it. You have line input. You can use it for instrument input as well. I think that this will be a lot of fun for using with a microphone and using the Eurorack to basically process my voice and stuff like that. Next up, let's look at some more 1U modules. So I picked up 2 IntelliGel modules for the 1U format. One here is a buffered multi. So a multi basically takes a signal and it splits it. It multiplies it. And if it's buffered, it's better for CV, for example, because certain things like, say, gates, for example, if you want to split a gate, you can use a passive multi. It should work. Like, it depends a little bit, but it should work. But for something like pitch tracking, for example, you'd probably want a buffered one, like I guess you'd say a powered one. So this is a small buffered multi. You can insert something here, you get 4 outputs. Insert something here, you get 4 outputs. I think that if you insert something here and not here, you actually get 8. So the next 1U is this attenuator here, because I think attenuating can be super important. It basically lets you tame a signal. Now, modulation sources is of course super important when it comes to Eurorack, and the kind people over at Acid Rain sent over their Maestro. I actually saw Jeremy, Red Means Recording, use it, and I thought it seemed brilliant. Now, I haven't tried it, of course, I just unboxed it here, but it seems really, really useful in order to create custom modulations. Basically, you have different channels of different modulations running at different clock speeds, which seems really useful, really cool. So thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, I'm always happy to have you here watching this nerdy show of mine. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about the fact that this super nerdy niche YouTube series where I get to play with all of these fun toys, it wouldn't have happened without all of you. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Hope you have a great weekend. Talk to you later.